So enough of talk. Let's see an example of what we really can achieve with the help of reporting. Here is an example of a sample report which we can make. Um, so this is my complete consumption. I have the timelines over here. I have the timeline over here, and so on and so forth. Of course, I've removed the numbers, but you can also have on y-axis the total consumption, axis, which is 200,000 requests and so on and so forth. Um, you can also segregate consumption based upon the level of your departmental hierarchy. So, for example, I have the main department as technology, and then there is IT, and within IT, there is cloud solutions, and that is the consumption for that department, all the countries, and then based on that selected range. Again, standard Power BI stuff, nothing major about it. You can also select all, and all on the three levels, and then you'll have complete department level consumption, sorry, company level consumption. The other thing you can also do, and this is pretty cool, is to compare one department with other or compare one department with the company as a whole. So for example, over here, my selection says technology, IT, cloud solution. So that means the yellow ones are the consumption figures for my cloud solution department with respect to the complete consumption of my company for the whole, right? And now this is cool that not only managers can see how good they are in using Gen AI features, Copilot within their department, but as a change request slash user, change manager role, I can also target these departments and figure out which departments are not using Gen AI to that extent. And then I say, hey, you have the licenses, why not do something about it? You are lagging behind. So go ahead and do it. Note that this information, all the consumption is for both work plus web uh, use cases. So what I mean is for a licensed user, he or she has two options in Teams, right? So they can either click on work and then write their prompts, or they can go to web and then write their prompts. Unfortunately, as of now, it is not possible to segregate these two. So purely I cannot show work prompts for the licensed version of the user, which is a bummer because the managers would really like to see at the end of the day, they are paying $30 for a license, how much actual prompts are targeted for the licensed use only, right? And not the free version, which is the web version. But it is what it is. For licensed versions, we will have work plus web. And for unlicensed people, we will have the web experience consumption only. We'll have to live with it. I have not added other graphs over here, but it's fairly easy to figure out the total work plus web consumption for the licensed user because you have the email addresses. We will see subsequent details how to do that. But as long as you have the email address, you can figure out if the user is licensed or not, and then chart a separate graph for him or her. For unlicensed users, of course, it is on this web. Now, let's see how to gather this basic data to create all this coolness and what all to read, how to read that information. And also to look into how we can revoke the license of the people who are not using Copilot license fully. So my favorite is to fall back onto the audit logs, good old audit logs. And that's what I would also highly recommend for you guys also. You can do that by going to security.microsoft.com and clicking on, if you go down, there should be audit. So you go over there. You need some compliance role for this one. So make sure that you have it. Let's select the period. Normally, if you have already released Copilot, I would recommend that you go back 6 months. That's the maximum data available for the earlier days. So download that data and then fix on a particular cadence of when you are going to do periodic reporting again. So in my case, I download the data every week. For some clients, you can also download it for a month and then generate your graph appropriately. For the purpose of the demo, let's go to March. It's 14th, so 14th of May. Now, over here, what you need to do is to look for interacted. In it's here, I need to interacted with Copilot, and that's the entry we are looking for. We can specify operations. You can keep in case you would like tomorrow to double check on a particular user basis. You can also put user's name over here, so it will give you the interaction of that user specifically with Copilot. Admin user, we don't care much about it. Let's load it Copilot prompts. And then, like a good data guy, I would name it, let's say 14th May to 15th May, doesn't matter. And then you click on search. Keep in mind that this report that is being generated, the output, it contains both the work plus web consumption across all your company. So for non-licensed user, it's pretty straightforward because they are using the free version. So that would be the web's version, right? Normal Microsoft Copilot or whatever it is called these days in Microsoft Sphere. But for licensed user, it would contain both work plus web. So that means the licensed as well as unlicensed usage from that user. Unfortunately, there is no way to purely get the license consumption of the licensed user, but that it is what it is. So let's wait for this to download. And in the next session, we will see what the structure is and what all we can do with the reporting. Let's go back to our audit. Hopefully it should be done as of now. You can see that's our search. It is completed. You can click on completed. Those are the mentioned, and then you can click on export. Once you click on export, it might take some more time, but after a while you will see a link where you can download the file. Once you download the Excel file, it will look like something like this. Record ID, of course, I have put XXS over there to hide the real ones. That is a record type. When it was created, again, the date which we saw in our reports, that is the field that I'm using to generate that individual bar graph, for example. That's the user ID. It can be multiple. Of course, I only have one user, so it's showing my ID, but you will have different. It could be listed of all the, but of course, in a real life scenario, you would have different IDs over there. That is the operation, Copilot infraction. That was what we did, selected in the audit logs. And this is important for us, which is audit data. It would look something like this. It's a full-fledged JSON with truckloads of information, when it was created, the ID. I have obfuscated it, of course, who the user was. It's interesting that for some of the prompt, the Copilot had to rely on Bing Web Search to answer the answer, to give you the answers. So that's why you have all this information. You know what all websites were tracked by Copilot to answer it. Note that just because you have all system plugin of Bing Web Search does not mean that the prompt was web, that it was a free licensed version, because the work version can also access the internet to answer your query. So please don't make a mistake. I made that mistake of assuming this, but that was not the case. Also, we have interesting possibility here, which is app host, and it will tell you where exactly the Copilot functionality was being used. So in this case, this prompt was wired from Teams. It could be Outlook, it could be Edge, whatever you have, or Word, and so on and so forth, wherever the application that was hosting this prompt. Again, don't make the assumption that if the app host is an edge, then it will be web, otherwise it will be work. Because now Microsoft is releasing the free version, that is the web version, across all its applications, so Teams, Outlooks, and so on and so forth. So just because app host is there does not mean that the request was a web one. But this app host is a very interesting property, because what you could technically do now with the help of Power BI is to create a kind of a pie chart to see how much requests are coming from team, how much are coming from Outlook, how much are coming from other systems. I will also post a list of all possible values there, or you can also check it in the online documentation. If you look for Copilot audit logs, you will find all the information over there. Right? Pretty interesting. For example, I always thought Teams would be the most used interface for accessing Copilot, but apparently that's not the case. It was Outlook, um, at least in some of the clients I work. Right. So this is the JSON, but technically we have all the information we need. We have the user ID in the Excel when it was created, and now I can basically have a link to my Active Directory via Power BI and figure out the department, the sub department, and so on and so forth. And I can also have another access to, basically make a link to my Active Directory where licenses are kept. All the users having the license, then I also know which one is a licensed user, which one is not licensed user, and make my charts accordingly. Standard Power BI charts, right? So far, so good. Now, so folks, being a lazy bum as I am, it takes me a lot of enthusiasm to make these videos for you. So if you would like me to make more, please help my mojo by clicking on like, share, and subscribe.